everyone, welcome. You're at your home, your happy place. My name's Debbie, and I'm so thrilled that you're here to join me today. I want to say thank you for all your input from my last video. I got chatty at the end and told you some of the things that are going on. I haven't told you everything yet. There's more surprises to come. I'll tell you what, when we went on vacation, I got really stirred up and creative. So, from your input so far, most of you are telling me, well, I had no one, absolutely zero people say they're not interested. The only thing I got was positive feedback in regards to hearing some stuff about zero carb or bioidentical hormones, etc., etc. So I'm not going to make this channel turn into that at all. I had told you a long time ago that I like to bring you 2 decorating videos. So this has been on my mind for like a year. Two decorating videos. And then the 3rd video, when it happens, might be a cooking video, might be a party planning video. Maybe it will talk about health. But the thing that really overwhelmed me was how so many of you were really struggling with, you know, autoimmune diseases and things like that. So I do want to just, because I'm not going to be like being a teacher type person, what I will say is if you're in that spot, and I wrote this to many of you, if you're in that spot, there are so many doctors, not chiropractors, but and I'm nothing against chiropractors. I love a chiropractor, but a lot of times they're the ones that are mostly into a holistic type of healing. But there's a lot of medical doctors, cardiologists, brain doctors, and then just general family physicians who are very, very good on YouTube. And I would start with Dr. Ken Berry. He has so many videos out, and from there he interviews people all the time. So from there you'll start to get around people and you might start learning more, because I'm never going to do all that. What I'm going to do is tell you some of the foods that I eat. I will give you the symptoms that I've had that have gone away, or when I cheat, the ones that come back, and how I can make them go away again. So that is something I want to share. And so I'm just going to put that out there so that those of you that are in desperate need of wanting to try zero carb, go there. And I'll just say this right off the bat. Well, I was a ketogenic diet for probably, I don't know, 3 years or something prior to doing that. And Dr. Ken Berry was also one that was ketogenic. I also followed another doctor, Dr. Bosworth. She goes by Dr. Boz. She still does keto, but she does a lot of fasting. And I mean days, like I had her on yesterday and she's 60 hours into a fast. I'm not, I've done 24, maybe a little more than that, but you know, that's not something I'm looking at doing. But I just wanted to say that the first time I heard Dr. Berry talk about how he was going on the proper human diet, I thought, okay, he's off his rocker now. And so anyway, I just want to say, after I got over, here's how I got over thinking he was crazy. I, from there, found a couple people who'd been on the diet for 13 plus years. And I thought, okay, I'll listen to these people, because they're not dead yet. They're not insane. And so one of them is Kelly Hogan. Oh my gosh, she's the most energetic, happy, positive person. But boy, oh boy, did her life change. And hers was really started because she was obese, and I mean morbidly obese. And there's, oh, what's her name? Steak and Butter Gal. I think her name's Bella. She was vegan or vegetarian for like 6 years. And there's just so many stories out there. And then you start hearing the testimonies of people who are healed of so many diseases, not just autoimmune, people with all kinds of diseases that you just wouldn't understand. Why is this working? But then, as I said, if you really want to get in the information, there are so many doctors out there sharing, you know, the importance of the fat in your diet. It's basically, zero carb is really a high fat diet. And then of course you fill in with a lot of protein, but the fat is really the key, and it's key to keeping us healthy. So I know I wasn't planning on getting in there. It's just a little tidbit so you could get started on your own. All right, we're gonna style some shelves today. I love this area of my house because it's a little bit more expressive to my personality, because we get a little wilder with color down here. And I'm so glad my husband agreed to this. I mean, that's pretty loud, you guys. I haven't regretted it one day. In fact, some of you had mentioned that that's the color I should paint some of the furniture in that guest bedroom, and that's exactly what I had in mind. I love this color. I, at the moment, cannot remember the exact name of it, and it's a lacquer finish, so it shines, and then there's lights in there, which makes it shine even more. But I did a really, really quick shelf restyle one day, and I just, you know, gathered things that were in the back area. There's not one thing new here. I think there's something new from fall or winter, but nothing new. And I was happy with it. Sometimes when you've got to decorate on the fly, and because you've got people coming over and you're like, oh my gosh, they still have Easter out, which I did. I had some bunnies and things out there. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to take you closer and show you what's going on. All right, we're going to do this built-in here, and we'll be doing both of them. And this one is, the back of it is beadboard, and you're seeing the reflection of the lights that are here. Now, I didn't put those in, but if you watch Liz, I'm going to talk about her twice today from Traditions by the Seasons. She has talked about buying these and installing them herself. You know, we did not do that. But anyway, beadboard is classic. And of course, if this whole piece was stained one color, it would be a very gorgeous piece in a study. But then again, you guys know that we painted not just the shelves, but the ceiling in my husband's study. So I'm very, very much a fan of adding more color and less wood. I think the house we were in for 30 years was just everything was wood stained, and I'm so over it. I wanted everything painted. Okay, and then down here, I have in the back some cane. It's a big roll of cane, and I just really need to measure, cut, and super glue. Maybe add a couple little nails. This is totally open, and I have this on both sides. It is audio equipment. And I actually had reached out to Liz quite a while back, and I was going to design a shell motif insert and then have her, of course, pay her, but have her cut me with her fabulous machine. And she was all in. She said, actually, that they were going to consider doing something similar because, you know, they have some incredible audio equipment. So she probably has areas that need that kind of hiding as well. But I never got to it. So, as many things in the house are unfinished still. I'm not going to remove my, yes, you can laugh, my VHSs. I love our VHSs. And a lot of these you just can't find anymore. I'm pretty sure you can't find this one. I've looked at different ones before. Look at Kathleen Turner and Dennis Quaid. Look at that. I want to watch that one. Yeah, it's in there. Ooh. I have a lot of Doris Day. I mean, you know, what in the world? So I look at some of these and I think, really? I don't remember Jim Belushi or James Belushi being in anything very serious, but that one looks serious, and I don't remember it. So I'm going to have to get these out and watch them. Deceived with Goldie Hawn. I know that was a good one. Okay, enough said. I've got a lot of them. All right, so we're going to be doing both sides, and I'm going to start in the center because that's going to be the most dramatic. These shelves were custom made with from a local cabinet company here in the Springfield area of Missouri, and so they're adjustable, which is really helpful for me because that way I actually probably have more shelves. I think I have another shelf for this area and the other, but because we're doing a lot of decor and not as many books, I do like to have less shelves and room to see the background of the shelving. Until I find something that I like better, year after year, you're gonna see this. I absolutely love this. It's melamine. I've had this one, wow. I've had this one since probably for at least 6 or so years, maybe longer. And, you know, it would be great to use to serve on, but the dramatic color and just the theme, and look at how good that goes with that. So I'm just going to use this little plate holder in gold. My accents down here, my handles are gold. So that's quick, easy, and even from this far away, you can see it. It's just really dramatic. Sometimes you can find candlesticks candlestick holders, I guess, is what I want to say, that really don't even need a candle. They're almost just a sculptural piece, and that's what I'm going to do next. I've put candles in these before, but it's basically, it's a marble-based palm tree. You put the candle in. I've also put little things on top of it besides. So there's a set of 3. These 2 are the same height. So I'm just going to pyramid them in there. And got these at either HomeGoods or TJ Maxx years ago. Wow. Prices are still on them. These were $20 each, and this was $25. But this is heavy brass and marble. Put that right in the center. I mean, it reminds me of a little art gallery. And we'll get closer when I'm done. This is the newest piece. I think I got last winter or fall at HomeGoods. I was just there and I'm like, they almost always have something coastal in their, you know, areas where they display this kind of stuff. And it's a betta fish. I think there's another name for it. I can't remember what they are, but they have the most beautiful tails. They're always so pretty, but in the past when we've had them, you know, I think you pretty much have to have them in a tank by themselves. So they're not the friendliest. They're gorgeous, but not friendly. I just thought this was such a dramatic statement piece, and because we have the fish tank there, and because of the theme going here, I just thought, okay, you're going to be gorgeous just sitting somewhere down here. And as you can see, I'm not pushing it all the way back. I like to have that depth. I think that looks, you know, it just adds to everything. And they're not even in the same, like the plate's all the way back, but you can tell the fish is a little forward. These are my most beautiful pieces. The things I'm putting up right now are going to be the most beautiful. I've used these every year too. So this is something, I found this maybe last year or something when I put this out. I found it on Amazon still. I didn't ever buy it there. This is back when I had a business of interior decorating, and I had a trade account with Uttermost, which Uttermost is sold at, I mean, you'll find Uttermost at HomeGoods and things like that, but they're sold in furniture stores, and I mean, they're just a huge supplier of a little bit of furniture. I do have some Uttermost furniture, but mostly it's usually kind of end tables and things like that. But they do a lot of mirrors and then dramatic pieces, but they're a wholesale company. You can't buy direct from them. So this is, if I can find it again, I just have a feeling it's not made anymore. This is gorgeous, and then there's two, so the one is going to be smaller. And there we go. And I love these. You know, you could probably buy a stand like this if you had a show. You just have to have one that's long enough to be able to go in there. But these came together. Okay, let me show you this one close up. Okay, I'm done with that. You know, basically, it's four things. I mean, I'm saying it in that way because I'm looking at those three gold pieces as one thing, the plate, the fish, and then I'm looking at those two shells as one thing. Simplicity in numbers is often far more impactful and dramatic than a whole lot of little stuff. So let's go on to this side. I picked up these also. Well, I say these, I've only got one in my hand right now, but there's two going in. Bookends. And I picked these up at HomeGoods, probably last year. So just left enough space to pop him in right there. And he's, you know, I'm not going for a fish theme, but there is going to be 3 fish in here, so in gold. This may seem out of place, but when we get around to the rest of this family room area, you'll note that I have some beautiful blue and white pieces down here. And so I'm just trying to tie them in. I had more on my coffee table for spring, but for summer I went with some, you know, more coastal stuff, but I still want to have this. This is classic, you guys. You can use this year round. And on the bottom, again, it's just candlestick holders, but I'm not putting anything in them. I think I got these last year when I was starting to do some collections of chinoiserie, and they, you know, monkeys are kind of a nice theme in that. And then I've got the gold going on, whether I'm using it upstairs in our family room or down here. So I think I bought these on Amazon actually. And there may be 3. I may have one up in the bathroom upstairs, but they're just cute. And they add to a metal and a gold, and then this sort of tropical theme. Okay, I hope you see, you know, it looks easy, but it's balance. And I probably worked at it a little harder than, you know, because I already had this done and I'm just redoing it for you. But let's get closer so you can see. All right, and then I just have 2 more shelves over here, which is not going to be that dramatic. When in doubt, you can always pull some photographs out. I want to get some new ones printed from our recent vacation, and you know, this one's quite old. I like having some of the older ones out though, because this was before we had any grandkids. We have 7 now, and so this is our family prior to that. Well, we were going skiing. Actually, our first grandchild is in her belly. But that is what I have. I would rather use one of my shell frames or one that has wicker. And I'd like one that sets up a little higher. But that's what I did. I told you I did this in a quick moment, and I grabbed a picture that was laying around. So I'll probably tweak that, but by the time I do, we'll be ready for fall. So I am unclear if I ever showed this book before. I think I might have. So it's a coffee table book. It's Bunny Melon style, and the color, if you could see the pillows on the sofa and the sofas, you'd go, oh yeah, of course that matches so well. So I'm not setting it down like this as you would do with most coffee table books. I'm actually going to set it up in there just because of the color, and also I don't know if it's picking up very well, but it's got a raised gold lettering on it. Is it pretty inside? Oh yes, it really is. I mean, this is a significantly well-produced book. So if you guys like coffee table books for more than just their outside appearance, this one I highly recommend. Try to link below as a really good read. And instead of using a plate holder to put it up, I'm actually gonna, it's big enough to stand on its own, and I'm gonna pop this other fish right in front of it. And this side's done. This side is not going to be as cute just because I used all my best pieces over there. But I'm going to start with, I actually don't know if these are exactly the same height. Oh, no, they're not. So I have a slightly different height on these shelves here in the middle. And as you can see, I do own another gold stand that's the same size, but as I said, I did this one in a hurry, so I used a black one, which means this probably isn't standing exactly at the same height as the other one. And I've got the plate turned so that it's not exactly the same look pattern-wise, but these are very far apart. Like I can't see that one at all standing here. So the symmetry from afar is there. And the only thing I left here were some fish books and History of the Ozarks and Land of Taney, some just historical books. So like on that side over there, we're going to start in the middle. And I do want to do a similar idea with this piece. I don't want it by itself. And it's also probably why I didn't even notice till now that I had 2 different plate stands, but I'm going to put a big piece of coral in front of that plate. Looking at it from here, it's not very dramatic. In person, I can see it easily. It could stand to be a little bigger. And I have bigger pieces. I have a bigger piece on my coffee table, but again, I'm using what I have. I have a piece that would look probably very stunning there. It might be a little too red, but I'm going to use it in another spot. And maybe I'll switch it up and try it just because I'm thinking of it right now. But let's go to the very top. All right, I have a little bit of blue and white. I mean, that is a really, let me get to the top so you can see, it's a really small space. That's just the way I had it. And another piece of blue and white. Because this is so far up, I want these kind of far out so that people can see them. If we pushed them all the way back, you wouldn't even notice them. And on the bottom, I'm just gonna put this basket up. I can't even remember. I think this is what was there. So this is a plastic, it's a beautiful bowl. It's got seashells on it on the inside. It would look gorgeous just setting up, but I had this big giant grouping of balls. So for now, I'm gonna do that. And then this is done. And as you can see, I'm not as thrilled with the look of that one. I guess really this up here makes my point. That is so small and so like tedious versus the bigger pieces being, you know, and you don't have to have everything centered, which you'll see as I do more. But what I am going to do is group those a little closer together because they almost are too far apart and they just come across as nothing. I don't love that. This side's so underwhelming. Okay, up here I'm just going to put a very small shell. This is one that I've picked up on the beach, or else my mother did. I've got all of her shells from years of collecting. And, you know, I could use a bigger one, but again, that's one I had. And oh, I love the imperfections in that one, you guys. It's got some cracks and holes in it, which makes me know that it came off the beach. This next one's going to be so pathetic. I feel like maybe I'm showing you what to do on that one and what not to do. It's still going to be okay. It's just that sometimes we just don't have this stuff. I've never been a big fan of these, you know that, and I bring these out probably once a year. I thought this one was cool when I saw it because of the different texture. Oh, the more I look at it, it just reminds me of a snake. And I'm sorry to put that thought in your head, but it has a little impact there, very little. This absolutely has no bearing in here other than the fact that, I mean, it's definitely tropical, and I had more of this set out at Easter time, but the color of the coral is in there, and the greens, you know, scattered throughout the room. There's really no yellow down here, which that's a big dramatic part of it, but I don't think it ruins the look, and I don't have anything else at the moment. I have a photograph I use. I haven't changed this in years. Just a picture of my husband and I on top of the Chase Park Plaza Hotel for a wedding of one of our dear friend's daughters. Okay, that side's done. And yeah, I don't love this, and I don't love this. And I might, before this is over, run around in the back area and see if there's anything else I can, because here's something I don't like. I like balance, not symmetry as much as balance. And right now there's two big blocks there. Now, if I put the picture, let Well, here, I can try one thing really fast. Now I have to change it. That just made a huge difference. But I still think this is just too low of a profile for there. It should probably be on a book or something, and I already have books up there, so I'm not happy with it. And I like that you're seeing that so that you can kind of understand my thought process when I'm trying to cause balance. The other side I feel is perfectly balanced. This still is not feeling good to me, but I'm going to move on to the other side. One of my favorite pieces is going in there, and this is the one I was saying it could have looked nice here, but it looks better on its own. Wonder. See how that red picks up in there? Can you see? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just swap this out real quick. Just keep playing. Okay, so I guess this piece is going over here. What do I have? Not much. These are the photo books that my daughter makes for me every Christmas. For some reason, 2022 was huge. I'm doing something similar to what I did on the other side, propping the book up. Okay, maybe I'll just put this in front of it. That looks a lot better than it did by itself, but now I'm missing something for a shelf. And this is another monkey, gold monkey. So he's kind of, the other two monkeys are on the inside in the same shelf. And then this one is, you know, he's of the same idea. His tropical leaf and he's gold. He's not metal, though he looks like he would be. Okay, I have to go find something for up there, and we'll see what it looks like when we're done. All right. I like almost completely, not completely, but I redid it. I redid this. I wasn't happy with it. I'm happier. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to turn it around and leave it for a few seconds and see if you can figure out what all I did before I tell you. It will be like when you're in kindergarten and they are like, what's different? What's different between these two pictures? So try and remember what it looked like. And here we go. So I still don't love it while you're looking at it, but I'll start over, well, I'll start in the middle. I took the dingy little stuff that was up there out. I've tried several different things. I have the room to lower that shelf, so I could put something a little bit more substantial up there. And I actually have the room to lower that shelf as well if I wanted, but I don't like to get it too low because then you can't see into the depth of the bookcase. So that is just that bowl full of balls, and I know you can't see most of the balls, but the big block of navy is kind of cool, and then that corresponds to that navy in that plate. Didn't change anything with that plate. And down here, I mean, you didn't even see any of this before. So I have a whole lot of these. I don't even know. You really can't wash them. I ruined some last year. They are kind of almost like a, I mean, you can hear it. It's covered, but I bet they're not food safe, and yet they're in the plate section. I've had them for years, but they're very, very fragile, almost like a paper mache type thing. But so I have all kinds. I have another one here that's really beautiful, deep aqua, and I have more in the back. So I just grabbed some of those, and I put two shells in the background. And here's some little like individual dishes. Honestly, I don't know. I guess you'd have to put dry food in them for them to be able to use, but super cute. And then these were sitting, they were already sitting out. My husband was decorating, like they were things I had pulled out to use, and then we were having company, so we quickly put them on something that they didn't belong on. So I just grabbed them and brought them over here, and it's busier. But I took this away, and I still felt like I wanted that back. So maybe I don't need it. You can let me know. I know we all have different opinions, and the decorating is not a right or wrong art. It's not a perfect art, and the reason I'm using the word art is because that's self-expressive and has an interpretation for everybody. So let's go over here. Last minute, I saw that little ball, and I was going to add it to a shelf, and I like the substantialness of that there. So I wanted to still be able to read these words. So I just kind of tilted that up there so I would. I had already swapped this out, so that wasn't new. And I took that plate that I felt had absolutely no bearing on what was going on and took it away and just added one of the smaller plates that I had of that same over here. And then on this side, I moved the monkey up and I didn't change that. And then this was just sitting on the fireplace behind a chair. And it's a perfect height. And so there we are. And I'm way more happier with it than I was earlier. And I feel like if I'm going to critique it, that picture frame over here would look better in a spot where it has a lot more around it. And I'll tell you why. I've completely obliterated the background of the shelf. And that has a huge impact on the overall look. So that would look great down here on the bottom, but I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it alone and go with this. The balance, I feel like it's decent. I don't love what I've done at the top, and I wish the piece that I had, the piece of coral, was something a little stronger presence there. But again, this is what I had. So, all right. All right, from afar, this is what it looks like down here. And as you can see, I mean, that coral backdrop and the lighting, if there was no lighting back there, this would not be dramatic at all. But that coral backdrop is everything in making this wall something that really has such an impact on the room. It really, really does. That is a TV up there. We have it set. It's one of those that is supposed to be a frame. I see people have them that have actual picture frames on them. These were just Samsung frame TVs. So there's art. And when I started out, it was beautiful coral art that looked really great in here. And right now it's very dark. So, but I'm not picking it. It's just rotating. Okay. I had fun. I always do. I love it when I run into a design dilemma and I have to fix it on the fly with you. And so I hope you enjoyed it. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. This one I love. This one I like. And sometimes that's how we do. Between this Tuesday and the end of August, we either have company. And when I say company, I mean like for 4 or 5 days, or we are going on vacation again. And so that's all of July and all of August. So it's going to be tight for me trying to pull off my videos. I know you guys are always so sweet about understanding. I'm going to do my best. I just can't film when we have a house full of people. So anyway, I will do my best to bring you 2 videos a week and some of the things that we've talked about as far as zero carb and all of that. If I can work that in between now and, you know, fall, I will. it may not start till fall just because things quiet down with our entertaining, because people have to either go back to school or, you know, they're not having their summer vacations. And since we're a tourist town, people come and stay with us, and we're thrilled to have them. Also, I think I had mentioned for my other channel, Trump Sounding, and if you guys, thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed. The last time I looked at it, it had 41 subscribers, and that's just a miracle for me. I'm not going to get the testimony out this week. I wanted to, and I tried. I went upstairs that night and tried, and it just was super distracted. And I don't want to mess with what I'm saying up there. I really want to feel. That's why it takes me so long sometimes to even film it. And it's like that one that you saw, if you've watched it, I was in the middle of cleaning the house, and all of a sudden I just had to, you know, I felt like God was talking to me, and I went and I talked. And so my testimony is huge. I've given it so many times. This healing took place so many years ago. And sometimes I'll get done. Some people want a 30-second version. And it's like, you know, really you don't. If you want to understand how magnificent our God is and how he works all things together for our good, well, you want the big version. And I need peace and quiet and non-distraction. And I also want to feel, you know, that God's really prepared me to say it at that moment. So I know it's not happening today. It's my husband's birthday. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to upload this. Something else I just am so excited to share. This has nothing to do with anything except for me. AT&T came out with Internet Air Hotspot. It's this big white egg. I have very little ease in getting things uploaded. I could never have done this before, like record at this time of day, which is probably 11:30, and get it out unless I went somewhere to upload it. So I got it and I used it on my last video. I got 2 videos up in less than an hour. It was just a miracle for me. I'm saying miracle a lot, but for me it was, because that's a huge impact in my life. And then while I was at AT&T, they were telling me about something that I could just plug right into my phone, and it'll take all the pictures off and keep them for me. So, because my storage is terrible, I'm always having to stop and delete things in order to continue filming. So I'm gonna look for that and try and link that below. I'll link stuff. Okay, my husband's on a speakerphone upstairs right now. I'll link stuff, but I have a feeling I might even not get to too much of it today. So I appreciate it when you shop my links, and I will see you next week. You guys have the best weekend, and thanks again for joining me. I love y'all. Mwah.